Checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do this, guys. Let's cut the cord. Let's get this show on the road today. My name is Ron Tyler. I'm the president of Emergency Management Associates. We're on the air for you. We're on the air coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina, guys. Welcome to our program today. We're glad to have you here. Now, I'm going to start off with the last thing that's on the title of our program. Last night, just as it was getting dark in Massachusetts, we had another shooting. Another shooting, guys, unfortunately. A man named Tyler Brown, 46 years old, the suspected shooter, running through the streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts with a weapon, with a high-powered weapon. Unreal, guys. Uncut and pick and reel. Running through the streets with this high-powered AK weapon. Okay? Two people now are injured, facing life-threatening injuries after Tyler Brown, the alleged shooter, ran through the streets and was shooting anybody and everybody that even moved. Opened fire on Memorial Day traffic Monday afternoon. The suspected shooter, Tyler Brown, was also shot by a responding state trooper, a former Marine who was caught in the Cambridge traffic, according to Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan. Brown was in custody at the Boston area ICU after he was shot by police to take him down. The 911 call of a person acting erratically with an assault-style weapon came in around 1:06 p.m. yesterday. But by the time the officers arrived on the scene, there was already an active shooter situation. Witnesses described the chaotic scene with the drivers halting their cars, getting out to run for their lives as the suspect shot up from the middle of the road. Some drivers were found underneath their vehicles when the shooting was over. Now, there is audio we're going to play for you just a few minutes of what happened. Okay? Just think about this. What actually happened yesterday afternoon? Between 50 and 60 rounds were fired. 2 men in different vehicles, including the MBTA Massachusetts Transportation Paratransit van driver, were struck. Both people are in critical condition today at area hospitals. This situation lasted minutes. Minutes, guys. That's all it takes to pull off 50 to 60 rounds of ammunition. The minute the bullets stopped, those who were worked to end the situation started rendering aid to the suspect. The police officers who worked to end the situation were then rendering aid to the suspect. Now, Brown is from Boston. He was currently under supervision at either state parole or probation area, but they did not offer any more details than that. When asked whether Brown was involved in another police shooting, they said they'd address his criminal history at his arraignment, which was not immediately scheduled because, again, he is in a Boston area hospital suffering from gunshot wounds from police who took him down. The Boston Herald previously reported that Tyler Brown shot a Boston police officer in 2020. He received a 5 to 6 year prison term sentence at that time. Suffolk County DA, their office confirmed that Brown was convicted for shooting at Boston police in 2020. What happened today cannot stand. What happened yesterday cannot stand. Pointing to the serious injuries of 2 people in trauma situations in the area hospitals and other hundreds of the witnesses that saw what happened. Brown will face 2 counts of armed assault with intent to kill, gun possession charges, and other counts as well. A felon that is in possession of a weapon. Okay? Investigators have continued to parse through the massive amount of evidence today, in addition to eyewitness accounts that are going on and dozens of cars that were hit by the spray of bullets. Ramon Pena was driving an Uber car when he saw cars starting to stop and turn around on what is usually a very busy road along the Charles River. Initially said he thought it was construction, but then he heard gunfire and knew something was wrong. Pena stopped his car, jumped out, and ran for a nearby hotel. After the fact, another witness pointed out that his SUV had been hit by a bullet. He said he's fine, totally fine, as he's being interviewed by police. Every day something new. Another witness who asked to go by his name R.I. or R.J. said he was working in the old Polaroid building on Memorial Avenue when he heard what he soon realized were gunshots. He said at first it was something that they were doing on the river. Then he said he was wondering if it was a festival or regatta. But then others said that it was a gunfire, a gunman on the roadway. RJ took photos and videos such as the one you see here that showed a Herald reporter of a man lying on the ground being tended to by medics, and then a sidewalk covered in blood. This is a really nice area. Late in the afternoon, Memorial Drive was still blocked off from Western Avenue to Pleasant Street. Both plainclothes officers and uniformed troopers, as well as officers from the Cambridge Police and EMS, were everywhere. Many of the officers who wore black bands around their badges to honor Troop Kevin Trainer, who had been killed in a wrong-way crash less than a week before. Kevin Trainer, by the way, was a Massachusetts State Patrolman who was on his way home when he heard on his personal radio that there was a wrong-way driver that was going to run into somebody, kill them. He put his patrol car in front of that wrong-way driver. The wrong-way driver hit him head-on, killing that Massachusetts State Patrolman. He'd only been on the job 2 years. 2 years when he was killed. Now, By the River Street Bridge, a black sedan could be seen wedged up against rock. Its front driver's side window was completely shattered. It crashed near the Mobil gas station, where more than a decade ago, a man who had been hijacked by the Boston Marathon bombers had escaped. Unreal. Yvonne, a long-term Cambridge resident, said she was inside a bakery close to the shooting and heard the gunfire erupt outside. She called the situation nerve-wracking. She said, "I'm calming down, thank God. This type of danger doesn't happen in Cambridge." Lizette Ward lives in a building next to the location of the shooting. She did not see the shooting but heard the shots, described them as loud. It wasn't normal loud, it was loud. Ward said she had to get to work as she spoke to the Herald Monday afternoon, but her car was locked away behind the police tape. This is unheard of. In a post to social media, Governor Maura Healey said there was no immediate threat to the public. "I am closely monitoring the situation on Memorial Drive and adding that the police are on the scene working alongside local law enforcement to investigate this incident. Grateful to the first responders who are working quickly to keep people safe and secure at the scene." Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley shared a similar message saying that her office was also monitoring the situation. "My heart is with every family impacted. We're told that this is not an ongoing threat to the public. Our neighbors are strongly encouraged to avoid the area so first responders can continue their work." Yusuf Abel, 19, who photographed the shooter from high up in this apartment overhead, said he thought it was fireworks going off at first. He said, "I walked out on the balcony and saw he was shooting, and he was yelling a lot, just firing his gun." In a social media post, Governor Maura Healey said there was no immediate threat to the public at all. She said she was monitoring the situation, as was Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. That's a story from there. I've got a story from CBS News in Boston I want to play for you now. Again, I believe this is important to understand what happened here.
This guy has done this before, according to our sources. As Bob said, we're identifying him as Tyler Brown, and I've been talking with people who've given me the same name and the same age, 46 years old. While authorities have not yet officially confirmed his identity, 25 investigators found court records for a man with the same name and birth date with a violent history of targeting law enforcement. He's definitely well known to law enforcement. Brown's record spans nearly 2 decades, including prior firearm and drug convictions. Tonight, 25 investigators is asking why a man with this documented history was able to get this gun and allegedly do this again. So we have video from an incident in 2020. That Tyler Brown was accused of firing 13 rounds at Boston police officers in the South End. In that shootout, Mr. Brown shot nearly 3 times as many bullets as the 2 BPD officers did in response. Records show he was already on probation for a stabbing and for witness intimidation. Despite a recommendation from the Suffolk County District Attorney for a 10 to 12-year prison sentence, a Suffolk Superior Court judge handed down only 5 to 6 years. And that sentence was served at the same time as his probation violation, so he was released back into the community after just a few years at Cedar Junction in Walpole. So Rachel Rollins was the district attorney at the time, and she publicly slammed the judge's decision, calling the light sentence disappointing and an insult to the officers who were nearly killed in the previous case in Boston. Mark, we're going to keep working on this as we develop more information about this suspect. He is in a lot of court records.
He certainly is. And we know you're going to work to get to the bottom of this in the end. All right, very good.
Okay.
If you need to
Unreal,
lose
guys.
that cortisol.
It's unreal. This guy was out on probation at the time he committed this shooting yesterday afternoon. Unreal. We'll give more information as we get it, and we'll put it out to you as soon as we know it, okay? As we've always said we do. Now, I want to talk about earthquakes worldwide. We have some large earthquakes worldwide we want to talk about here. So let's pull up our USGS map here and show you what the U.S. government wants us to see here. I'm going to take down our I'm going to take down our webcam here. I'm going to take down our EMA banner here. I want to start off this earthquake program and talk about what's happened here. Okay, I want to talk about what's going on here around the world. Okay, again, USGS is not giving us a full story about what's happened here. Okay, let's go over here into the northwestern Pacific Ocean off the Russian shores of Kamchatka Peninsula here, off the eastern shore of Kamchatka Peninsula here. There are two earthquakes here. This one right here is a 4.6 moderate earthquake. 4.6 moderate earthquake, 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep. This earthquake right here is a 4.5 moderate earthquake, 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep here. Okay, notice where it's at. It's on the fault line that originally came out of Indonesia, going up through the Philippines, over to Taiwan, over to Japan, now going up here on the eastern side of Kamchatka Peninsula and connecting with the Aleutian Island Fault, going into Alaska. Okay, let's go further south here. Okay, I want you to see this. We have an earthquake over here in Japan. This is not the only earthquake here. I want to repeat that. This is not the only earthquake here in Japan, but it is the only earthquake the USGS is going to show us today. Right here. Okay? This is a 4.3 earthquake here in a populated area of Japan. 4 miles north-northeast of Fukuoka, Japan, right here. A moderate earthquake again. Moderate earthquake. I'm going to zoom in here. As you can see, it's a very populated area, densely populated area. This is also, guys, 42 kilometers deep. 42 kilometers deep. A very shallow earthquake. Okay, let's back out of there. There's another earthquake offshore of Japan right here. Again, on that same fault line coming out of Indonesia, going up into Philippines, Taiwan, and over here as well. It's also 4.8 earthquake, moderate 4.8 earthquake here. Okay, USGS not showing that. Let's go further south here into Taiwan this time. Over here to central Taiwan. Okay, now USGS is, as I told you before, USGS continues to misidentify where earthquakes are at. Totally misidentifying where earthquakes are at. This earthquake here, off the central shores of Taiwan. This is a large 5.1 earthquake. Large 5.1 earthquake. It's on the fault zone here. It's on the fault zone here, guys. Okay, just offshore from Taiwan. Now, guess what? Just offshore here, just barely offshore, 18 miles offshore here. This is not anywhere near Hualien, Taiwan. Hualien, Taiwan is way up here to the north. Way up here to the north, right there. Right there. But USGS is showing this as 49 miles south of Hualien, Taiwan. It's not. It might be 49 miles south of Hualien, Taiwan, but it's right offshore here. Right offshore here. There are people who live here, guys. There are people who live here. Yes, they probably did not feel 5.1 energy, but they probably did feel moderate energy here. Moderate seismic energy here. Moderate seismic energy can knock photos and plaques off of walls, knock books and knickknacks off of shelves, rattle glass plates, glass bowls, glass tumblers and stuff off of shelves. If that happens, there's going to be glass all over the floorway, all over the floor. That's what happens here. Okay? Now, again, why am I saying this? Whenever we have a time right like we have right now, where you might have the time to secure your belongings in your home, get these cabinet shelves protected. If you have cabinets, you have doors on the cabinets. Go to Walmart, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, and buy these child-proof locks. Those child-proof locks, if put correctly on the doors of your cabinets, will prevent your glassware from falling out of the cupboards and breaking. Yes, your plates might rattle around a little bit, but they won't fall out of the cabinets. They won't fall out of the cabinets. Now, if a much larger earthquake happens, for example, 5.5 to 6.0, that might make the doorways off the cabinets fall off the cabinets and crash to the ground, and then your glassware is not going to be protected at all because it's going to fall off onto the floor. But at least if you have a moderate earthquake or a small earthquake, it's going to protect your assets in your home. Your glassware, your plates, your glasses, your bowls, and whatever, going to protect everything inside your cabinets and protect you from falling plates or glasses and getting hit by that glass. Okay? Protect yourself now. That's why you talk about this. Again, this is a large earthquake off the central coast of Taiwan today. Those people in this town here felt somewhat of this earthquake. Again, they probably did not feel the full brunt of a 5.1 earthquake, but they did probably feel some kind of shaking, probably moderate shaking. Moderate shaking would be a 4.0 to 4.5, maybe a 4.7 earthquake. That's what they felt here. There are towns people live in here. Okay, let's go further south. Let's go down here into southern Philippines, right here. This is a large 5.0 earthquake, southeast of Mindanao, Philippines here. The largest island here in the Philippines is called Mindanao, Philippines. Okay, offshore here, this is a 5.0 large earthquake. Okay, 139 miles southeast of Pondagaitan, Philippines. 139 miles southeast of Pondagaitan, Philippines. Okay, a 5.0 large earthquake. Again, notice where these earthquakes are. Right alongside, this is on the fault zone. You can very well see it's on the fault zone, guys. Where does this energy come from? Comes from Indonesia. Comes from Indonesia going north. Further south here, in Indonesia itself. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. 4.7 earthquake right here. Okay? I want to make sure everybody understands what's going on here. This is important. 4.7 earthquake here is 45.1 miles deep. 45 miles deep, very shallow earthquake here. Let's back out here again. Look what they're not showing us here. Look what they're not showing us here, guys. They're showing us one earthquake northwest of Sumatra, Indonesia here, in the Nicobar Islands. Nicobar Islands here, guys. This also is a large 5.0 earthquake, 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Then we go all the way over here. All the way over here to Papua New Guinea. All the way over here to Papua New Guinea. Guys, this is a 4.3 moderate earthquake. 4.3 moderate earthquake here, Papua New Guinea. Now, guys, look where it's at. Look where this cotton picking earthquake's at. It's out in the ocean here. Okay? First off, this is a moderate earthquake. A low-grade moderate earthquake. 4.0, 4.5 are low-grade moderate earthquakes. Yes, if they are on land, they'll cause some kind of damage. This is over in the ocean. This is over in the ocean. Here, I don't think it caused any kind of damage. If anybody even felt anything, might have been just small earthquake type energy, like movement beneath their feet. That's all they felt. Fortunately for them, because this is the third world country. People live here in Papua New Guinea don't have much money at all. Not much money at all. Then we move over here to the east, over here into the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands here. Guys, here is another 5.0 earthquake here. This, guys, is 37 miles deep. Shallow quake. 50 miles west-northwest of Kirakira, Solomon Islands. Kirakira, Solomon Islands here. Look where it's at. Kirakira, Solomon Islands over here, right there. See under area here? Kirakira, Solomon Islands just northwest of there. Right here. Large 5.0 large earthquake. Right here. Offshore here. Offshore. I don't believe anybody felt this earthquake right here. As far as I can find out, right here, there's nobody even living anywhere near the shoreline here. Nobody. There are people here. They're further inland, and they're only in small, tiny villages here. This earthquake was offshore here. Offshore, large earthquake. I believe for the most part, the seismic waves from this large earthquake were absorbed by the ocean water here in the Solomon Islands. One more earthquake here. Over here. Right here. This is a much larger earthquake. This is a 5.6 earthquake here. 60 miles west of Lata, Solomon Islands. 60 miles west of Lata, Solomon Islands right there. 5.6 earthquake. I believe the ocean waters of the Pacific Ocean absorbed shock waves from this quake. I don't believe anybody on this island felt it at all. Okay? Now, let's back out here some more. Down here, southeast of Fiji here, they say this is a 5.7 earthquake. And yes, here you see it was red. That means this just happened. This is a 5.6 very strong earthquake. Anything 5.5 and larger are considered to be very strong earthquakes. I shouldn't say very strong, very large earthquakes. Very large earthquakes, stronger earthquakes than a 5.4 or 5.5. This is a 5.7, upper edge of 5. Okay? This could be a very deadly earthquake. This could have been a very deadly earthquake. This is 180 miles southwest of Humatonga. Southwest of Humatonga here. Right up here. Okay? Nobody felt this earthquake. It was out in the Pacific Ocean here. The ocean waters have absorbed the shock waves of this quake. This just happened. If we have any more information about this earthquake, as soon as we find it out, we'll give this information to you in our next broadcast or later tonight. Okay? Now, we go down here into New Zealand. It's not often the USBS will show an earthquake down here in New Zealand. This is down here in the Cook Strait. The body of water between the North and South Island of New Zealand is called the Cook Strait. This is a 4.3 earthquake. This is 16.4 miles deep. Still a very shallow earthquake. Over here, right between the two islands, being a 4.3, I don't think anybody felt there's an earthquake, but if they did, they only felt small kind of shaking, like movement beneath their feet. I don't think anybody suffered damages from this earthquake. Now, guys, here in New Zealand, there are more earthquakes than this. A lot more earthquakes than this. Why I've got you here talking about New Zealand, since they have a 4.3 earthquake here, let's take a look at what's happened here in New Zealand today. Let me bring up my device here and I'll show you. All right. We have people that follow our program in New Zealand. That's why I want to show you this. It's important. First off, I'm going to start here on the South Island here, right here. I'm going to start off on the south part of the island. Okay, let me zoom out real quick here. Look where the earthquake fault comes through. Okay, this earthquake fault comes out of Tonga here. Goes all the way down here on the east side of the North Island. Then it cuts over through the South Island here. Then it goes further south on through the mountain range of the South Island here. On the furthest part of the island here. USGS not even showing this to you. I'm going to show it to you right now. I want you to understand what's going on here. Let's bring up our webcam here so you can see what I'm saying here. Okay, down here on the south part of the island, we have a 3.46 earthquake. 3.46 small earthquake here. This is Southland, New Zealand. Southland Park, New Zealand. 3.46 earthquake. But it's not the only one here. Over on the west side, or east side of the island, this is a 2.75 here. Going back over to the northwest on that same earthquake fault, we have a 2.23 earthquake here. We go to the northeast side again. This is a 2.2 earthquake here. They're not showing us any of these earthquakes here at all. Let's go further north to the northwest side here. Barrytown, New Zealand. 2.29 earthquake here. Just offshore here. I'm sorry, not offshore. That was just barely on the shoreline here. Going further over here to the fault line here. This is a 2.46 earthquake on the fault. Now let's go further to the north here. Okay. Now this is over on the northeast side of Papua New Guinea. Okay. Again, you see this 4.6 earthquake here. Or I'm sorry, not 4.6, 4.3 earthquake here. Then we go over to the North Island here. Right here. Offshore here, we have a 2.48. Going north here, over to the shoreline, a 2.26 earthquake here. Okay, just to the north of that. This is a 2.71. Let's go over to the west side of the island. Here. Right here. See where it says Taranaki? See that volcano right there? That volcano has not erupted for a very long time. But we have earthquakes around it, don't we? Let me show you those earthquakes here. Southeast of that volcano, we have a 2.25 earthquake. Going up to the other side of to the north side of that volcano here, this is a 4.0 earthquake. 4.0 moderate earthquake, and USGS not even showing it. USGS has a habit of showing moderate earthquakes, but they're not showing this 4.0 moderate earthquake. Just on the north side of that volcano there. Okay, 4.0 moderate earthquake. Going to the northeast, Going to the northeast here. This is a 2.48 here. Going northwest of there. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. All right? Then let's go north. Northwest of the supervolcano there. Northwest of the supervolcano there. The supervolcano is called Topo Lake or Topo Volcano. Just northwest of that volcano right here, we have a place that's called Moniati, Bennydale, New Zealand. This is a 2.34 earthquake there. 2.34 earthquake here, just northwest of the supervolcano. To the north of that supervolcano here, Tauranga, New Zealand, 2.39 minor earthquake there, just north of the volcano. Then going up the Fiji Fault, going north up the Fiji Fault. The Fiji Fault comes out of Fiji and cuts through the North Island here. Cuts through the North Island here. Going up here, we have a 2.24 minor earthquake here. Then going north of Auckland into the Bay of Plenty. North of Auckland, New Zealand, in the Bay of Plenty, we have a 3.5 small earthquake. 3.5 small earthquake here. Okay? Let's go over to the east side of the island. Let's go to the east side of the island here. Right here, we have a 2.26 earthquake. 2.26 minor earthquake there. Then, going up here to the north, Waikura Valley, New Zealand. Waikura Valley, New Zealand. 2.44 earthquake here. 2.44 earthquake here. They're not showing any of those earthquakes at all here. None. Not a one. Then we go back here, and USGS does not even show that Fiji Fault is a fault. But you can see that fault comes out of Fiji here. Going up north here. Going up north on the Fiji Fault right about in here. We have another earthquake here. This is a small 3.11 earthquake here on the Fiji fault line here. Okay? We've already showed you earthquakes here. One more that they're not showing us here. Just north of that fault, or just north of that earthquake I just showed you on the Fiji fault here. This is a 3.68 earthquake here. 3.68 earthquake here on the Fiji fault. Okay? Unreal. USGS did not show us hardly anything there at all. They showed us one earthquake there in New Zealand. One earthquake. But it was not the larger earthquake. They showed us a 4.3 here. But over here, there was a 4.0 here. Yes, it was. I'm sorry, it was a larger earthquake, but they also had a 4.0 here that they did not show us. They didn't show any other earthquakes at all. Unreal. Now, I want to remind all of you here, sometime within the next 25 years, we're being told that USGS has told us that off the eastern shore of the North Island, they're going to be experiencing a 8.0 megathrust earthquake here. A major 8.0 magnitude earthquake here, which is going to be a subduction quake, where the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Plate, is going to subduct under the eastern side of the Indo-Australian Plate. It's going to subduct underneath the eastern side of the Indo-Australian Plate here. That's what's going to happen. Now, guys, we've seen earthquakes here. Almost every day we see earthquakes here on the eastern coast of New Zealand. That's why we want to show those to you. That's why we want to make sure everybody knows about it. Because those earthquakes are leading up to a large earthquake. The earthquakes that we just got through showing you right here are leading up to a large earthquake. All these earthquakes are leading up to a large earthquake here on the eastern side of the North Island of New Zealand. USGS doesn't want to admit anything. They want plausible deniability here. They call it plausible deniability here. It's going to happen. It's a matter of time. It's going to happen. They're showing us one earthquake over here. They say that is south of Tonga, south of Humatonga. One large earthquake right there. 5.7 earthquake. Yes, it is a very large earthquake. But it's over here in the ocean, and the ocean waters of the Pacific Ocean absorb the shock waves from the quake. Okay? Now, going over here to South America here, right here. This is terrible here. This is very terrible here. Why is it terrible? USGS is not showing any of the earthquakes down here in the south. None. None. There are 17 earthquakes down here in central Chile, Argentina region. Central Chile, Argentina region here. Lots of earthquakes. USGS is not showing us one of them. Not one. We go up here to the north. 4.5 moderate earthquake here. West-southwest of Taital, Chile. 4.5 moderate earthquake here. Going further north. 4.4 earthquake here. West-southwest of San Pedro de Atacama, Chile. Central Chile, or northern Chile here. Guys, this is in the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. This is in the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. This is the edge of the plate here. These mountains here are the edge of the plate here. The continental divide. The continental divide here in South America. Guys, we have a lot of other earthquakes here besides this. Again, as I said before, USGS is not showing us any of the earthquakes. Look at all these earthquakes in central Chile here. They show us one earthquake. Going up here to the north, northern Chile, there are over 28 earthquakes here in northern Chile. Overall in northern Chile and central Chile, 48 earthquakes here. 48 earthquakes. USGS shows us 2. They show us 2 earthquakes here. What a joke. What a freaking joke. What a freaking joke. In over here in northern Chile, Bolivia border region, we have a 3.3 earthquake here. Going up here to the northwest, Tarapacá, Chile here. This is the 3.0 earthquake here. Going over here to the northeast, Artamarca, Bolivia. 3.1 earthquake here in the Andes Mountains. Interesting, but no cigar. They're here, over here in Tacna, Peru. Tacna, Peru, guys. Guess what? Tacna, Peru. We have a volcano here. Sabancaya volcanoes over here. Sabancaya volcanoes over here, guys. Sabancaya volcano has been erupting for quite some time here. For quite some time, off and on. I don't think Sabancaya volcano is presently erupting, but it's over here near Tacna, Peru. Here we have a 2.7 earthquake that USGS.gov is showing us. 2.7 minor earthquake here near Tacna, Peru. Going north here. This is Mazo Cruz, Peru. Mazo Cruz, Peru, right here. This is a 4.2 earthquake here. 4.2 earthquake. This is just north of Sabancaya volcano. Just north of Sabancaya volcano, which I believe is right there. I believe it's right there. Okay. But not to be outdone. Not to be outdone at all. We go over here. Okay. Just barely offshore. Just barely offshore. 4.1 earthquake here. The Ataco, Peru. Ataco, Peru. Okay. 4.1 earthquake here. 4.1 earthquake. But what they're not showing us here, what they're not showing us right here, onshore right here, guys, right here, we have a 4.64. 4.64 earthquake right there. Again, they don't show us all the earthquakes at all. They show us 1.4, and they're not even showing a large earthquake here, which is a 4.64 I just showed you right there. Then going north here, they're not showing us any other earthquakes here. Nothing. Can you say less than nothing? Junin, Peru. Near Junin, Peru here. Right up here. This is a 3.4 small earthquake here. They're not showing this earthquake either. Sad. Very sad. Our own agency, the agency of the U.S. government, refuses to tell us what's going on here. They absolutely refuse to tell us what's going on here. Then we go north here into Colombia. Meta Colombia here. Meta Colombia here. 2.50 earthquake. 2.5 minor earthquake there. There's more. There's more. Bucaramanga, Colombia. Bucaramanga, Colombia. 2.4 earthquake there. Just to the northeast there, 3 more earthquakes. A 2.3, a 2.8, and another 2.8 right there. Then we go over to the mountain range. To the mountain range. The Northern Andes Mountains here in Colombia. This is the 3.3 earthquake right there. They're not showing us earthquakes, are they? They don't do that. They don't want us to know what's going on. Off the northern shore of Colombia here. Off the northern shore of Colombia, guys, we have a 2.6 earthquake right there. 2.6 earthquake right there. And going over into Venezuela. Going over here to Venezuela. Right here. We have a 2.1 earthquake right there. They are still not showing us what they need to show us. Not showing us it. Not showing us it. Nothing. They're showing us nothing over here in Central America. They're showing us less than nothing over here in Central America. Look at all these earthquakes here in Central America, guys. Look at all those earthquakes here in Central America. They're showing us nothing here. Nothing at all. Okay? Over here at the border region of Costa Rica and Panama, 2.5 earthquake right there. Going over here to Guatemala here to the north, 3 earthquakes here. Here's the 3.2 earthquake here, Guatemala. There's another one here, which is the 3.1. And one other earthquake here while we're at it. This is a 3.5. All kinds of earthquakes here in Central America, they're not showing less than 0. Nothing. Yes, I said yes and 0. They're not showing us squat. Not squat. They're 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 earthquakes here. 17 earthquakes here in Central America, they're not showing us 1. That's typical of what's here in Central America. Anywhere between 12 to 17 earthquakes every day in Central America. Over here, Southern Mexico. Southern Mexico. You see 29 earthquakes here. 29 earthquakes here in Southern Mexico. They're not showing us any there at all. None. None. There's more. There's more, guys. South of Puerto Vallarta here. South of Puerto Vallarta here. Puerto Vallarta is right there. South of Puerto Vallarta right here, we have 5 more earthquakes. Onshore, Colcaman, Mexico. 3.2 earthquake right there. Offshore here. Offshore here. We have a 3.2, we have a 3.6, and a 3.5 earthquake right there. One more earthquake here, offshore, is another 3.1 near Tucumán, Mexico. 3.1 earthquake there. Yes, I believe we do have some 4.0 earthquakes here. Let me see if I can find a 4.0 earthquake. I heard them come in earlier today, so I know they're there. Just got to find one here. Yes, down here in southern Mexico right here. There's a 4.2 earthquake right there. I believe we have a 4.2 here, 4.1, and a 4.0 earthquake here. And all the rest of these are all 3s, 3.0 to 3.8 earthquakes, small earthquakes. Small earthquakes so far in southern Mexico. Lots of earthquakes, tons of earthquakes that the USGS doesn't want to show us at all, at all. Again, down here in southern Baja California, right here, Cabo San Lucas. 3 earthquakes here. 1.9 tremor going north on the western shoreline. A 2.8 minor earthquake. On the eastern shoreline here is a 3.2 minor earthquake here. Going up the San Andres Fault. Going up the San Andres Fault here. Right here. USGS not going to show us this earthquake either. This is a 2.9 3.0 earthquake. 2.9 3.0 earthquake here on the San Andres Fault in the Gulf of California. These earthquakes are going into Southern California. they're progressing into Southern California. In the northern Gulf of California here, in the northern Gulf of California right up here, right here, this is the 3.1 earthquake there. 3.1 earthquake there. Over here near San Felipe, this is a 3.0 earthquake right there. Okay. Going up to the Imperial Valley here. USGS has shown us some earthquakes here. Look at Brawley here, still getting hit. South of Brawley is also still getting hit. We have 20 plus earthquakes here. 20 plus earthquakes here. And yes, USGS is still not showing all the earthquakes here. For example, right here, near El Centro, right there. 3 miles west-southwest of El Centro, 1.16 tremor here. 1.16 tremor here, west. This is west-southwest of El Centro. West-southwest of El Centro right there. This is a 1.2, it's a 1.16. West-southwest of El Centro. More earthquakes here. More earthquakes here, guys. A lot more earthquakes. Let's go into this and show you what's happening. Okay? USGS shows us here. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 earthquakes right here. 20 earthquakes right there. Interesting. Let's show you what we have on the EMSC map. Look at all these earthquakes here. Okay. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 20 earthquakes here. 20 earthquakes here. Okay. Let's go here. Let's look at some of these earthquakes. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake here. 2.0 minor earthquake there. Brawley, California, on the San Andreas Fault. This earthquake is a 1.5 tremor. Right next to it here is a 1.6 tremor. Right here, 1.6 tremor here. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.4. Going south here, this is a 1.8. This is a 1.7. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.2. This is a 1.4. This is 1.3. This is 1.2. This is a 1.5 tremor. This is 1.4. This is 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.1 tremor here. And right here, this is a 1.4. All around Brawley here. All these earthquakes are either in Brawley or just south of Brawley, California here, in the Imperial Valley. Okay? Now, guys, As I said before, there are a lot more earthquakes than that. Ton of earthquakes here. Again, going over here in the Calipatria that you see here. Every day on the seismogram we can show you. Maybe tomorrow we'll show you the seismogram here in Calipatria. There's anywhere from 75 to 150 earthquakes here in Calipatria alone. USGS is not showing us any earthquakes at all. None. Not one. Then we come down here just south and west of Calipatria here. South of the Salton Sea here. This is a town called Westmoreland. Up until January 1st this year, USGS and Caltech had a seismograph that was showing us earthquakes here in Westmoreland. Tremors and minor earthquakes mostly here in Westmoreland, and occasionally a 3.0 earthquake here in Westmoreland. They're not showing us anything from Westmoreland anymore. That does not mean the earthquakes stop here. That only means USGS is not going to show them to us at all. At all. Then going down here into the town of Imperial here. Into the town of Imperial. They also have a seismograph here. They turn it off to us as well. They're not showing any earthquakes anymore to the public. Here they had tremors, minor earthquakes, and small earthquakes here, 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here in the town of Imperial. As I told you yesterday, down here in El Centro, they have a scadzillion of tremors. Scadzillion, tons of tremors, guys, here in El Centro. They have minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. They have anywhere from 9 to 15 earthquakes a day here in El Centro. 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here in El Centro every day. They're still continuing, guys. Just because they don't let the public see it doesn't mean those earthquakes stop. They continue. They continue. USGS doesn't want to show them to us at all. I checked earlier. They're still not showing any earthquakes at all. Now, I want to go over here to Holtville, California here. Right here. You see Holtville on your map here. Holtville has a museum of sorts that I've talked about before. Holtville. They have a museum of sorts. It's called the Salton Sea Desert Research Station, where they have a seismograph. The seismograph here still pumps out earthquake information. They have tremors of all kinds, minor earthquakes of all kinds as well. 2.0, 2.9 earthquakes every day. USGS is not showing them at all. Nothing. Ever. As I said yesterday, and I said it many times before, over here in Bombay Beach over here on the northeast side, the southeast side of the Salton Sea. The southeast side of Salton Sea is Bombay Beach. Here's where the San Andreas Fault comes down here and goes into the underside of Salton Sea here, Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach has a scadzillion of tremors. All kinds of tremors here in Bombay Beach. All kinds of minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. They have anywhere from 15 to 20, 3.0 to 4.5 earthquakes a day. 15 to 20, 3.0 to 4.5 earthquakes here every day in Bombay Beach. As a result of the San Andreas Fault. Happens. Over here on the northeast side of the Salton Sea, we have North Shore Salton Sea here. They have a seismograph here that they shut off to us as well. Here in North Shore Salton Sea, we had tremors here. All kinds of tremors, long duration tremors as well. North Shore Salton Sea. They're not showing us any of us here. Not showing it to anybody here at all. Guys, as I said before, the San Andreas Fault here in Southern California is locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. The Salton Sea here moves upwards of 8 centimeters a year. 8 centimeters a year. We haven't had a major earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault in a lot of years, decades. That means we have decades of tremors, decades of minor earthquakes, decades of small earthquakes here accumulating in pressure on the San Andreas Fault. It's going to happen. The San Andreas Fault is going to pop. It's going to pop, guys. It's a matter of time. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Okay? We talk about this all the time. Now, today I prepared a special presentation about the new manifold I'm going to give to you in just a minute. Over here off the Northern California coast here on the San Andreas Fault at the Triple Junction. The San Andreas Fault at the Triple Junction here. This is where the San Andreas Fault starts. This is the 3.0 earthquake here, 26 miles off the coast of Petrolia, California, on the San Andreas Fault here, on the San Andreas Fault. I want to show you one other earthquake here on the Juan de Fuca Fault that is associated with the Cascadia. It's in the Cascadia subduction region right here on the Juan de Fuca Fault, the Juan de Fuca Plate. This is a 2.8 earthquake here. 2.8 minor earthquake here. Off the coast of Washington and off the coast of Vancouver Island, British Columbia. 2.8 earthquake, 158 miles west of Tofino, Canada, and Ocean Shores, Washington. 158 miles off the coast. This is a 2.8 minor earthquake here. The Cascadia region is still alive and well here. The Cascadia region is still alive and well here. I'm going to show you two other earthquakes here, and then we're going to go to the Pneumatic Fault here. This earthquake here is off the coast of Alaska, off the coast of southeastern Alaska here. This is a 3.0 small earthquake here on the Aleutian Island Fault Zone. On the Aleutian Island Fault Zone, 67 miles off the coast of Pelican, Alaska. Further south here, south of Sitka, Alaska here. This is the 1.4 tremor here, south of Sitka, Alaska. Sitka volcano is right there. Sitka volcano is right there. This earthquake is south of Sitka, Alaska here. Just a tremor, only a tremor here. Now let's go over here to the Pneumatic Fault. Today here on the New Madrid, USGS is showing us one earthquake. One earthquake here. They're showing us this earthquake here near Caruthersville, Missouri. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. Guess what? This is a drop in a bucket of what's really happened here. This is just a drop in a bucket of what we're going to show you here today. This is just a 2.2 minor earthquake here in Missouri. Guess what? There's a lot more than that here. There's a ton more than that. Let me show you what happened here in Missouri today, right here. Okay, look at this. 3.0 earthquake here this afternoon in Catfish Pond, Missouri, Catfish Pond, Arkansas. 3.0 earthquake here in Catfish Pond, Arkansas today. Unreal. Unreal. Look here, guys. This earthquake hit here after 2:39 this afternoon. 2:39 p.m. a 3.0 earthquake here, and it's multiple 3.0 earthquakes back to back, lasting about 20 seconds here. Lasting about 20 seconds. Prior to that, 2 minutes prior to that, we had a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake there. This was 2:36 p.m. this afternoon. Shortly after that, we had a 2.4 earthquake. Then we had tremors leading up to 3.0 earthquakes here. Catfish Pond, Arkansas this afternoon. Unreal. They didn't say anything about that on the USGS map, did they? Not a thing. Not a cotton picking thing. How about this morning at Catfish Pond, Arkansas? Up at the top left-hand corner here, that's 12 midnight. 12 midnight. We have absolutely nothing but tiny tremors between there and 7:13 this morning here on the black line on the right-hand side. 7:13 this morning. We have a 2.4 earthquake here. 2.4 earthquake. Prior to that, we only have tiny tremors here. And after that, tiny tremors until we get over here after 10:15 this morning. We come across 10:01 or 10:16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 10:22 this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here on this red line here. Again, the pneumatic fault is still moving. The pneumatic fault is still moving here. It's not the only thing that's happening here, though, guys. It's not the only thing that's happening. Let me show you more. Hatachikoon, Arkansas here this afternoon. Look what happened here. We have some tremors and minor earthquakes here. From 12 noon on the top left-hand side until 12:30, 12:40, 12:41, 12:42 this afternoon on the blue line. Minor earthquake there on the right-hand side. Then over here on the left-hand side, all these tremors and minor earthquakes prior to this led up to this 3.3 earthquake here. 3.3 earthquake after 1:45 p.m. here in Hatachikoon, Arkansas. We've had earthquakes like this before. Notice that they got the top and the bottom of this earthquake sequence cut off. That's because they don't want to show you the entire strength of this earthquake. This was a 3.3 earthquake here at Hatachikoon, Arkansas. That's a lot stronger than that 2.2 that they showed you over in Arkansas before on the USGS map. This is 15 times as strong as that earthquake. 15 times as strong. Then we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 minutes later. 6.5 minutes later. 1:51 p.m. this afternoon. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Then more tremors going off here to the right-hand side. Shortly after 3 p.m., I pulled the seismic here so I could show you these earthquakes that happened here in Hatachikoon, Arkansas. Let's continue here. Let's go over Hobbs, Arkansas. Hobbs, Hobbs, Arkansas. Right here. Okay? All morning long. All morning long here. All you see are tiny tremors and microquakes, probably. Tiny tremors and microquakes. Then all of a sudden, later this morning, all of a sudden we see some minor tremors and minor earthquakes here. Tremors, minor earthquakes here. On this blue line here on the right-hand side, on this blue line here on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, it's 8:30. This is 8:42 a.m. this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here. The next green line here, we have a tiny 1.6 tremor here. On the next red line here, 11:15 over on the left-hand side. Over here in the center here, I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this would be 11:24 a.m. this morning. 1.6 tremor, not 1.6, 2.6 earthquake here. 2.6 minor earthquake. At 11:47 on the bottom green line on the left-hand side. That's a 1.6, 1.7 tremor here on the green line. Yes, they had some movement here at Hobbs, Arkansas. But they're not showing any of this here in Arkansas at all, are they? Not a thing. Now let's go over to Mark Tree, Arkansas. Every day we see seismic activity like this in Mark Tree, Arkansas. On the western side of the New Madrid Fault, Arkansas, northern Arkansas here, Mark Tree, Arkansas. This morning, 1:30 this morning on the blue line here on the left-hand side, we have tremors. Tremors continue to 1:30, 1:31, 1:32. Tremors start building up to 1:32 to 1.4, 1.5 tremors, 1.8, 1.9 tremors, then 2.0 earthquakes, minor earthquakes. Then the primary earthquake here, the primary seismic activity here is a 3.0 earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake here. Then it drops down to minor earthquakes, 2.7, 2.8, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Then tremors after that. Tremors after that. Then after that, we have more tremors. More tremors. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. 5 a.m., we start seeing long duration tremor activity building up to minor earthquake. Long duration tremor activity building up to minor earthquake here. That's after 5 a.m. this morning on the black line. Let's see how long that lasts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. 10 minutes of seismic activity here. Yes, the majority of that are just tremors. But after about 6 or 7 minutes, we have minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.6 earthquakes. 2.0, 2.6 earthquakes here. On the next blue line. Next blue line. $5:32 this morning. We have another 3.0, 3.1 earthquake. Then about 30 seconds later, we have a minor 2.0, then a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake after that, and then more tremors. We see a lot of tremors here. This morning here. We jump down here to 11 a.m. on the black line. More tremors here. About 11:06 this morning, we have a 1.8, 1.9 tremor, building into 2.0, 2.2, 2.4 earthquakes. Over here, the primary quake here was a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. Minor earthquake here on the black line. On the next red line over on here on the left-hand side, far left, we have tiny tremors, 1.1, 1.2 tremors, building into a minor earthquake within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes, we build up to a minor 3, maybe a 2.6, 2.7 minor earthquake. Then on the next green line at the bottom, we see minor earthquakes here happening only because on the blue line on the right-hand side, just above it, 11:44 a.m. this morning, 1.6, 1.7 tremors building up to 2.0 earthquake, then 2.5, 2.6 tremors and minor earthquakes again, building up to 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here, just before 11:46 this morning. More tremors and minor earthquakes, building up to 2.6, 2.7 again, going back down to tremors again. Going over here to the right, the same thing happens. Tremors building up to 2.5, 2.6 earthquake, then building down to tremors and minor earthquakes after that again. Martree, Arkansas. Every day we have the same thing. Most of the time we have more 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here. We have more small earthquakes here again in Martree, Arkansas, usually. Okay? Martree, Arkansas this afternoon. You notice here. Notice here. 12 noon is up on the top left-hand side. We have tremors. 1 p.m. is on the black line after that. At 1:30, we have tremors building up to minor earthquakes. Tremors building up to minor earthquakes up to 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here on the blue line there. The next black line, we have tremors building up to minor 2.4, 2.5 earthquake here. Then building back down to just tremors again. Usually we don't see this little bit of seismic activity in the afternoons. We see more activity in the mornings and the afternoons total. We see all kinds of 3.0 small earthquakes here, usually here in Martree, Arkansas. Let's go south from there. Okay? I'm going to go south and west from there to central Arkansas. Central Arkansas. This is Needham, Arkansas. Central Arkansas, guys. Central Arkansas. Look what we have here. After 7:30 this morning on the blue line, 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. On the next blue line on the right-hand side, what do we have? 8:43, 8:44 this morning. On that far right-hand side blue line there. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Builds up to 2.8, 2.9, and then back down to tremors after that. However, the next green line here, is 8:45. 8:45 a.m. 8:46, tremor activity. 8:47, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake shortly after that. Then it goes down to 2.0 tremor, 2.0 minor earthquake, and back down to tremors after that. Unreal. This is Needham, Arkansas. Needham, Arkansas, this morning. Now let's go over to Ozark Folk Center, almost directly north from Needham. Ozark Folk Center every day, just like this. However, Ozark Folk Center usually has more 3.0 earthquakes as well. Today, all we are seeing here are late morning. All that we are seeing here is late morning today. Late morning. After 10:05 10:01 a.m. this morning. We start off with some tremors, building up to 2.6, 2.7 earthquake, building up to 2.93 earthquake after that. Just after 10:01, 10:02 a.m. this morning. On the red line after that, on the right-hand side, right center. Okay? Here we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? This means we're after 10:26 this morning. 10:26 this morning here. Guess what? 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Goes from tremors to 2.0 on up to 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Then after 11 a.m., 11 a.m. over on the left-hand side on the black line here. Now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes after 11. 11:09 a.m. this morning. We go from tremors all the way up to 2.8, 2.9 to 3.0 earthquake here. 3.0 earthquake here. Then back down to 1.9 tremor, and instantly right back up to 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here again. Okay? Unreal. Unreal. That's what's going on here. Ozark Folk Center, North Central North Central Arkansas. North Central Arkansas here. Ozark Folk Center this afternoon. Over I hit the top the top left-hand corner here is 12 noon. We jump down to the green line here. This is 12:45. We go over here to the right-hand side. This is 12:40. This is 12:51 p.m. this afternoon. This is a 2.93 earthquake. 2.93 earthquake, and just prior to that, all we have is 1.6 tremors. That's it. Ozark Folk Center. Again, this is not totally normal. Usually we have multiple 3.0 earthquakes in the afternoon as well here at Ozark Folk Center, Arkansas. Happens all the time. Then we drop further to the south over right next to the New Madrid Fault on the west side of the fault. Truman, Arkansas. Just south of Mark Tree, Truman, Arkansas here. Look here. On the top line here, we have tremors here at 12 midnight on the left-hand side. Going here, over here, the next red line here, 12:15 over here on the left-hand side, 12:17, 12:18 here. We have 2.8 or 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes. Drops down to tremors and minor earthquakes after that, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, on up to 3.0 earthquake after that. 3.0 earthquake after 12:17 this morning. Somebody got woken up here. Somebody got woken up here in Truman, Arkansas. Small earthquake shaking. Somebody felt their floors moving. Somebody felt the ground moving here in Truman, Arkansas this morning, early this morning. Then about 40 seconds later, another earthquake happened. A 3.0 earthquake here again. Then minor earthquakes, 2.4, 2.7 earthquakes happening here. You can see the earthquake side ground here. Then it drops down to tremors again and dwindles out from there. The next black line here is 1 a.m. After 1:03 a.m., we had tremors for about 6 minutes. At 1:15 over on the left-hand side, we have nothing but tremors, tiny tremors at that. Over here on the right-hand side now, This is 1:25 a.m. this morning. Tremors building up to 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Tremors building up to 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Dwindling down to 2.7, 2.8, 2.6, 2.7, 2.4, 2.5, down to 2.0, minor earthquake, and then tremors again. More tremors after 1:30. 2:30, the same thing on the blue line. The next blue line is 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Starts off with tremors building up to 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes here. Long duration tremor building up to 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes, going back down to tremors. This seismic energy here lasts about 10 minutes. 10-minute long duration tremor that build up to minor earthquake and back down again. Now we are at 5 a.m. this morning, 5:15 on the red line. Tremors building up to minor earthquake activity here. That's all. Going back down to tremors fairly rapidly within a couple of minutes here. All kinds of tremor activity here, guys. All kinds of tremor activity here. Tremor in Arkansas. Again, we usually see more earthquake activity than this. Stronger earthquake activity, 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here in Truman, Arkansas. Most of the time, all you're seeing here are tremors here, literally all morning long. All morning long here. Unreal. Unreal. Truman, Arkansas this afternoon. Look at this. Nothing but tremors here in Truman, Arkansas this afternoon. Again, this is not normal. Usually we have small 3.0 earthquakes here in the afternoon here in Truman, Arkansas. We also have a lot of minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.8 earthquakes here as well. Not the case today. Now, from here on out here this afternoon, I'm going to show you seismograms with a lot of seismic activity. Lots and lots. South of Truman is a town called Tyrons, Arkansas. Tyrons, Arkansas. Look at this. This morning it starts off at 12 midnight on the top left-hand side with just tiny tremors. Tiny, tiny tremors. Then over a matter of hours here, 4 a.m. this morning, tremors again. 5 a.m. this morning, tremors again. 5:30, 5:38, 5:39, 2.4, 2.5 earthquake here. Then throughout the rest of the morning, we have tremors and minor earthquakes building up to 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, and 2.9 earthquakes. Okay. After 8:46 this morning on the left-hand side of the green line, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake there. You can see the other small minor earthquakes here. Very small minor earthquakes here. Tyrons, Arkansas this morning. Tyrons, Arkansas this afternoon, the same thing. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Again, most minor earthquakes cannot be felt, except by very sensitive people. Everybody can feel 3.0, 3.9, 4.0, 4.9, 5.0 large earthquakes. Everybody can feel them. Here in Tyrons, Arkansas today, we saw mostly minor tremors and minor earthquakes. That's all. Again, here in Tyrons, Arkansas, we do see a lot of minor earthquakes. We do see some 3.0 earthquakes as well. Okay? Now, I want to take us up to Iowa. I want to take us up to Iowa here, guys. Again, this is important. This is very important. And I'm going to tell you why. Northern Iowa. Actually, I'm sorry, this is southern Iowa here. Tabor, Iowa. Tabor, Iowa here, guys. Guess what? Early this morning at midnight, we have just tiny tremors here. Tiny tremors here. Let me enlarge this to give you a better picture of what happened here this morning. Let's count it down. The top line is 12 midnight. Next line, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. on the black line, 7:45 on the green line here on the left-hand side. 7:46, 7:47, 7:48, 7:49. Just before 7:50. Just before 7:50, we had a 3.3 earthquake here. 3.3 earthquake. By itself, this would be a 3.0, 3.1 earthquake. They cut the top and the bottom of this earthquake sequence off. 3.3 earthquake here, guys. Tabor, Iowa. Tabor, Iowa. The northern part of the Pneumatic Fault. The northeastern side of the Pneumatic Fault here. They do have earthquakes here in Iowa on the Pneumatic Fault. Crazy, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. Tabor, Iowa this afternoon, all we saw were tremors here. Tremors. Okay? Again, the northern part of the Pneumatic Fault is active. It's active, guys. Don't let the USGS fool you. Don't let the USGS fool you. They're hardly showing anything going on. They show one earthquake. They're showing one earthquake on the entire Pneumatic Fault in the center of the fault. There's a lot more going on here. Let's take you over to Carbondale, Illinois this morning. Carbondale, Illinois this morning. On this blue line here, let's count it down from midnight this morning. Top black line is midnight this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30 this morning. On the blue line. We come over here to right. Now we're at, let's see, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. 6:38 this morning. 1.9 tremor. 1.9 tremor. We go over 4 minutes later, we have a 1.7 tremor. A minute and a half later, we have a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. On the next green line here. On the next green line. 6:45 this morning. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Then it immediately goes back down to tremors here. Then about a minute and a half later, we have a 2.4 earthquake. Minor 2.4 earthquake. Then a 1.99 tremor, 2.0 earthquake. Then a 1.7, 1.8 tremor after that. Carbondale, Illinois this morning. Let's see what happened here in Carbondale, Illinois this afternoon. Might be surprised. Might be surprised. I don't believe we have a Carbondale, Illinois afternoon because nothing happened. Let's go over to Decatur, Illinois this morning. This has been going on now for almost 3 months. Decatur, Illinois, look at this. Yes, we have tremors here. We have minor earthquakes here. We also see our share of small earthquakes here. Our share of 3.0 earthquakes here in Decatur, Illinois. This has been going on now for 3 months. just about 3 months. Prior to that, we never saw this happen in Illinois at all. Yes, occasionally in Illinois, we'd have tremors, maybe a 2.0 earthquake. This has been going on here in Decatur, Illinois, on the New Mountain Fault for nearly 3 months. 3 months we've been showing this to you. Ongoing, guys. This is ongoing. The northern part of the New Mountain Fault is moving. It's moving, guys. Decatur, Illinois this afternoon. Same thing. Look at the blue and green lines at the bottom. Look at the blue and green lines at the bottom. You can get a true picture of what these things, what is going on here. The top line is 12 noon, dropping down to 1, 2, 3, 3:30 this afternoon on the right-hand side. I mean, on the left-hand side, on the blue line. We go over here on the right-hand side. Now we're seeing 3:43 p.m. this afternoon. 3.2, 3.3 earthquake here. 3.2, 3.3 earthquake here. After that, a 3.1, 3.2 earthquake. Just about a minute and a half later. Then we drop down to this green line here on the left-hand side. Yes, we see tremors. We see 2.0 earthquakes, 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes, 2.7 earthquake. The next one here is a 2.8, 2.9, 2.6, 2.7, 2.5 earthquake, more 2.5 earthquake. The next time it gets fairly large is 2.7, 2.8 here. About a minute later, another 2.7, 2.8. Minute and a half later, another 2.8, 2.9. This is the northern part of the New Mountain Fault, Decatur, Illinois, all day long. All day long this is happening. They go from tremors to minor earthquakes to 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here in Decatur, Illinois. No, they're not feeling 3.0, 3.3 all the time. It's occasionally here. Goes down to tremors, minor earthquakes, and back up to 3.0 here. 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes. How'd you like to be here? Feeling seismic energy every few minutes. Every few minutes, guys. That's what's happening here in Decatur, Illinois. Wild. Wild times here. Wild times here. Now, Indiana. Indiana this afternoon. New Harmony, Indiana here. 12 noon at the top left-hand side. Yes, we have tremors here. I want to drop down here to after 2:30 this afternoon on the second blue line here on the left-hand side. We come down here to 2:34 this afternoon. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here this afternoon. 2.8, 2.9 minor earthquake. New Harmony, Indiana. Wild, huh? Again, the northern part of the New Mountain Fault here. That's what's happening here. Okay? Now, let's go over to Missouri again. Let's go over to Missouri. Guam, Missouri, guys. The center part of the New Mountain Fault here. Center part of the New Mountain Fault. After 2 a.m. this morning, nothing but tremors, but we go over the right here. 2:13, 2:14 this morning, we have minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. We have seemingly small duration tremors after that. Then count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. 6:02 a.m. on the black line here. We've come from tremors to our first 2.4, 2.5 earthquake. Then we ricochet back down to tremors, back up to minor earthquakes here again. Over here on the right-hand side, on the same black line, 1.9 tremor here on the right-hand side. That's 6:14 a.m. this morning. The next blue line here over on the right-hand side, 6:42 a.m. Another 1.4, 1.5 tremor here. 6:45 on the next green line on the left-hand side. We go over here on towards the center here, 6:50. 6:50, we have long duration tremor activity here again. 7 a.m. Nothing. 8 a.m. on the black line. Starting about 8:02, we have tiny tremors again, building up to minor 1.9 tremor here. 1.9 tremor back down to nothing again. That bounces around here. That bounces around here. "9:30 this morning. The next blue line here. 9:30 this morning, we have tiny tremors building up to 2.0, 2.4 earthquakes here. Then back down to tremors again. What's happening here, guys? Tremor activity. Tremor activity here. Guam, Missouri, this morning. What happens here at Guam, Missouri this afternoon? Same thing, guys. Same thing. Again, here at Guam, Missouri, we usually have tremors and minor earthquakes, and some 3.0 earthquakes here in Guam. Now we're going to see more earthquakes here. A lot more earthquakes here. Lots and lots of earthquakes here. Cape Girardeau here. Cape Girardeau here. You see some 3.0 earthquakes, you guys. You see some 3.0 earthquakes here. 8:45 this morning, nothing. Maybe 1.0 tremor here. We come over here to the right. This is 8:53 a.m. this morning. 3.1 earthquake. 3.1 earthquake goes back down to tremors. Minute and a half later, 2.5, 2.6, on up to 2.8, 2.9. Then another 3.0 earthquake after that. 8:59 a.m. this morning, 3.0 earthquake. Then we have 10:30 over on the blue line on the left-hand side. Now we have 2, 3, 4 minutes later. 4 minutes later. 11:34 a.m. this morning. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. 3 minutes later, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake again. Minor earthquakes 2 minutes after that. Then we have tremors after that until 11:45 this morning on the green line on the left-hand side. Then we have tremors here. Tremors for about 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Then they build up to 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes here. 2 of them within about a minute and a half of each other. Then back down to tremors here. Cape Girardeau this morning. Cape Girardeau, Missouri this morning. Guess what? It doesn't stop. Cape Girardeau, Missouri this afternoon. Look at this. After 12 noon, excuse me, 12:03 this afternoon, 2 3.0 earthquakes within about 40 seconds of each other. 2 3.0 small earthquakes here within 40 seconds of each other. Then we come over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes later. 12:08, we have some tremors. All of a sudden, we have another 3.0 earthquake here again. We come over here 1, 2, 3 minutes later. Tremors again, another 3.0 earthquake here again. On and on here. Excuse me. On the next red line here. Next red line. We have some tremors building up to 2.5, 2.7 earthquake here. Okay. 12:16 this morning. Or this afternoon. 12:16 this afternoon. Going back down to tremors again. Going over here to the right, all you see are tremors here. Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Unreal. The seismic energy here in Missouri is expanding. Expanding, guys. It's expanding. It's moving. It's moving. Let's go over to Kewanee, Missouri. Kewanee, Missouri. Look at this. The top left-hand side is 12 midnight. Next one is 1 o'clock in the morning. The next black line is 2 a.m. this morning with just tiny tremors. We drop down to 3, 4, 5 a.m. this morning. Microquakes and tremors over here, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes later. The tremors are getting larger. Within 30, 45 seconds, now we're into 2.0 earthquake again. Building into 2.4, 2.5 earthquake activity here. And going back down to tremors again. The same thing is true after 9:45 this morning on the green line here. About 9:55 this morning, we have tremors building into 2.4, 2.5 earthquake. Up to 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Then it goes down from there. The same thing is true after 10 a.m. this morning. On the 10 a.m. earthquake line on the left-hand side, just tiny tremors. We go over here to the right. About 10:07 a.m. this morning, tremors. 10:08, 10:09 this morning, 2.0 earthquake. 10:10 this morning, 1.9 tremors again. Minutes later, 2.2, 2.3 earthquake. More 2.3 earthquakes after that. Then back down to tremors again. Kewanee, Missouri. In the past 3 weeks, we've seen 3.0 small earthquakes here in Kewanee, Missouri. The energy is moving. The seismic energy is here, is still moving. Still moving, guys. It has not gone away. It has not gone away. Kewanee, Missouri this afternoon. Look at that. It's just not tremors here. Yes, we've seen our share of tremors here this afternoon. However, look what's happened after 12:15. 12:15 over the left-hand side on the red line. Now we're over here at 10:26 p.m. this afternoon. 2.5 earthquake. 2.5 earthquake. 12:30 this afternoon on the left-hand side. 2.6 earthquakes. Multiple 2.6 earthquakes here. Move over here to the right. About 12:10 this afternoon. Another 3.0 small earthquake here. Seismic energy is continuing here, guys. It's continuing here. The next good size seismic activity here happens here at 12:44 p.m. this afternoon on the right hand side of the blue line. 2.5, 2.7 earthquake here. Multiple multiple. Then again at 2:48 p.m. this afternoon, 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes there. Quantity, Missouri this afternoon. Doesn't stop, guys. Doesn't stop. Matthews, Missouri. This morning. After 2 a.m. this morning, we had tremor activity you see here. Guess what? 3 hours later, we have some tremors building up to 3.0 earthquakes. 5 a.m., we have 3.0 earthquakes here. 5:02, 5:03 a.m., we have 3.0 small earthquakes here. Yes, people are feeling these earthquakes. This earthquake sequence lasts 2 minutes. Earthquake sequence lasts 2 minutes here. How would you like to be woken up in the morning at 5 a.m.? Feeling your furniture moving. Feeling your bed moving. You put your feet on the floor and the ground trembles. The floor trembles with your feet. That's what they had here this morning, early this morning. (9:45) on the green line. First off, we have tremors here. The tremors go on for about 2 minutes. Then they get larger. Right before 9:48 a.m. this morning. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. It builds from there, 2.8, 2.9, all the way up to 3.0 earthquake here. 3.0 earthquake here at 9:53 this morning. I'm sorry, not 9:53, 9:48 this morning. Unreal. Then dissipates minor earthquakes and back down to tremors again. The next time we have some good earthquake activity is after 10 a.m. this morning on the next black line. Starts off with tremors for the first few seconds. Then within about 30 seconds, all of a sudden we have our first 2.5 earthquake, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Then within a matter of seconds after that, we have 3.0 earthquakes here. 3-point earthquake sequence lasts about 3 minutes. 3 minutes small earthquake sequence here. Then goes down to minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.5, down to tremors, and then dissipates completely. Matthews, Missouri. Again, the center part of the pneumatic fault here. The center part of the pneumatic fault, Matthews, Missouri. Matthews, Missouri is just north of New Madrid. Just north of New Madrid, Missouri here. Let's go over to Portageville, Missouri, right alongside the pneumatic fault. Portageville, Missouri here. Look at this. From 2:30 this morning, 2:31 this morning, we had tremors here. For 2.5 minutes worth of tremors. Yes, nobody felt those earthquakes. Nobody feels tremor activity, but it happened. Tiny tremor activity happened for a long time after that, hours. 5:30 this morning on the blue line here on the left-hand side. We go over 1, 2, 3 minutes later. 5:33 this morning, tremor activity. 5:34, minor earthquake, 2.0 earthquake. 2.3, 2.4. Within 40 seconds, we have our first 3.0 earthquake right here. Portageville, Missouri. It buckles down to 2.8, 2.9, back up to 3.0 activity, then back down to 2.7, 2.8, 2.6, 2.7, back down to 1.2, 1.3 tremors, then dissipates again. Look what's happening here, guys. Look what's happening. This seismic activity doesn't stop. The center part of the pneumatic fault at the fault line, the west side of the fault line, is moving. All over the place, guys. Literally all over the place. Now, on the red line here, on the red line after 9:30 this morning, 9:15 this morning, on the red line over here on the right, this would be 9:27 a.m. this morning. 3.0 earthquake here. 3.0 earthquake, possibly even as strong as a 3.2 here. They cut off the bottom of the top of the sequence like they do all these other earthquakes, long duration earthquakes. They cut off the bottom of the top of the sequence. That we don't know how strong the actual earthquake was. In this case, we know it was at least 3.2 earthquake. That earthquake lasted 2 full minutes. 2 full minutes. Anybody here in Portage, Missouri felt this earthquake hit? They felt it last. 10:45 this morning on the green line. We had multiple tremors. We also had a couple 3.0 earthquakes here as well. This morning. Portageville, Missouri. Earthquakes are still happening, you guys. They have not stopped. These earthquakes have not stopped. Now, I want to take you over to Eastern Tennessee. In the past few days, the USGS has had shown on their map, seismic activity in the East Tennessee seismic zone, going into Kentucky as well. This is Hopper, Missouri, Hopper, Tennessee over here in Eastern Tennessee. Let me show you where this is. So you'll at least have a good idea of what's going on here. See this earthquake here, Arkansas today? The USGS showed us here. Unreal. Let me take down our webcam here. See where Knoxville is here on the east side? Let's go about a half an inch to the right. That's what we're talking about here. Eastern Tennessee. Why are we doing this, guys? Why are we showing you this? This is important. This is very important. In order to understand what exactly is going on here, you need to understand what's happening here. You need to be very aware of what's going on here. Guys, it's happening. It's moving here. I'm not kidding. Here. This is the southern part of the Eastern Continental Divide. The southern end of the Eastern Continental Divide here. Here you see the Eastern Continental Divide just to the right of Knoxville. Bunch of mountains here. After I left Utah, I came right down here down Interstate 40 through Knoxville, Tennessee. Within about a 30-minute time period, I started winding through the Appalachian Mountains here, in the Blue Ridge Mountains here, in North Carolina. This is the southern part of the Eastern Continental Divide. That's where we're going to show you earthquakes now. The southern end of the Eastern Continental Divide. I'll keep this up here so you can see what we're doing here. Look at this. Look at this morning. Okay? The second black line is 1 a.m. this morning. The next one is 2 a.m. 3 a.m. is the next black line. 4 a.m. is the next black line. Come over here to the right. This is 4:14 a.m. this morning. 3.0 earthquake here. 3.0 earthquake here at 4:14 this morning. Then tremor activity after that. 6:32 a.m. this morning on the next blue line here. 2.5 earthquake here. 2.5 earthquake here. Crazy, huh? 4 minutes later, we have a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. What's going on, guys? What's happening here? What's happening here? What is going on is the Atlantic plate. The Atlantic plate is expanding. The Atlantic plate is expanding like this. It's pushing on the North American continent, pushing on the North American plate, pushing the North American plate in a south-southwesterly direction, which is putting pressure on that continental divide, putting pressure on the entire Atlantic plate, going up to the continental divide. Where I live on the eastern or the western side of the Atlantic plate. I live on the western side of the Atlantic plate. We see earthquakes east of me. We see 3.0 earthquakes east of me as well, along the coastline. But here, along the eastern continental divide, we're seeing 3.0 earthquakes here as well. Quite a few of them. When we're not seeing 3.0 earthquakes, we're seeing 2.6s, 2.7s, and 2.8 earthquakes here. That's what you see here. That's what you're seeing here, guys. This is no joke. Hopper, Tennessee this morning. Let's show you Hopper, Tennessee this afternoon. Look at this. Look at this, guys. The top left-hand side here is 12 noon. 12:01, tremor activity, 1.0, 1.1 tremors. 12:02, 1.2 tremors. 12:03, now we're having 2.0, 2.1 earthquake here. 12:04, now we have our first 3.0 earthquake here. Our first 3.0, actually a second 3.0 earthquake this time this afternoon. Hopper, Tennessee this afternoon. 3.0 small earthquake here. Then we have tremors a lot. Tons of tremors here. We go at 12:05, 12:06, 12:07, 12:08, 12:09. We have another 3.0 earthquake here. Wild. Wild, guys. We have three 3.0 earthquakes here. Craziness, isn't it? Then going over here to the right, we have more tremors and one 2.3 earthquake. One 2.3 earthquake here at 12:14 p.m. this afternoon. On the next blue line, all we have are tremors until we get over to the right. 12:44 this afternoon, we have a 2.7 earthquake. 2.7, maybe 2.8 earthquake here. 1 p.m. this afternoon, we have nothing over here until we get to the center here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1:07 this afternoon, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake on the black line. After that, all we have the rest of the afternoon are tremors here. All we have are tremors. Interesting. Hopper, Tennessee is on the Eastern Tennessee Seismic Zone. Eastern Tennessee Seismic Zone. It's not the only one here. I have more for you here. A lot more than that. I want to go over here to Miss in Tennessee next. Miss in Tennessee, look what happens here this afternoon. This morning was quiet, just tiny tremors. Look what happens here this afternoon. After 12:49 this afternoon, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. After 1 p.m. this afternoon, we have tremors, all kinds of tremors. Over here after 1:30 on the blue line, we have tremors until we get over here to the middle of the afternoon. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1:08 this afternoon, we have our first 3.0 earthquake here. 1:08 this afternoon here, Miss in Tennessee, 3.0 earthquake. We go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later. We have a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Possibly as strong as a 3.0 earthquake. 2.8, 2.9, possibly as strong as a 3.0 small earthquake. Miss in Tennessee. The next green line here is 1:30 or 1:45 this afternoon. We go over to 1:47. 1:47, we have 2.5 activity. 2.5 minor earthquakes here. 3 minutes later, more 2.6, 2.7 activity. Craziness. 3 minutes later, we have our first 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Then after that, we have more 2.6, 2.7, 2.5, 2.6, and more tremors here. What happens after 2 p.m. this afternoon? 2 p.m. this afternoon, the stylus on the seismograph starts hopping around here. Look at that black line over here in the center right. We may have seen a 3.0 earthquake here this afternoon. We may have seen another 3.0 earthquake this afternoon after 2:12, 2:13 this afternoon. You see it bouncing down here at the bottom. Bounce down. After 2:15, we have tremors on the red line. We come over here to the right. Guess what? The same thing applies here. We have 2.6s, we have 2.7, 2.8s, going back down to 2.2, 2.3s, going up to 2.5, 2.6s, and then that red line crosses down as well. We may have had another 3.0 earthquake here in Miss in Tennessee today. Again, on the southern end of Blue Ridge Mountains. Eastern Continental Divide here. Eastern Continental Divide. East Tennessee Seismic Zone. We're not quite done yet. Now let's go over to Miss in Tennessee this afternoon. Actually, I showed you that. I'm sorry. I showed you that. So I guess we're done. The entire New Matter Fault is moving. Eastern Continental Divide is also moving. I think tomorrow we're going to show you the eastern side of the country. We're going to show you Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, possibly going over into Virginia and Pennsylvania. The eastern side of the pneumatic fault, we showed you here. We showed you the western side of the pneumatic fault. It's all moving all over the place. Seismic energy is moving, guys. It's not stopped. It hasn't stopped at all. It has not stopped at all. It's moved. It's continuing to move. It's not going to stop. Not going to stop. We've already seen 2.0 minor earthquakes. We've seen 3.0 minor earthquakes. 3 weeks ago, we saw a 4.5 earthquake in Missouri. We saw our first 4.5 earthquake in Missouri. It's not going to stop. It's continuing, guys. It's continuing. 3 years ago, all we had here were tremors. That's it. All we had here were tremors. That's all. Nothing more. Nothing more. But now, like I said, we are now seeing minor earthquakes, we're seeing small earthquakes, and we're seeing moderate earthquakes here on the pneumatic fault. Moderate earthquakes up and down the pneumatic fault. They're going to continue. They're going to continue, guys. Down here in Louisiana, we have two, actually, I forgot to show you this. Let's go back to the diagrams here. I forgot to show you what happened here in Louisiana and also what happened in Mississippi. The southern end of the pneumatic seismic zone is also moving. Let's go over here to Louisiana now. Pioneer, Louisiana this morning. Look at this. Mostly tremors here this morning, except for one thing. Except for one thing. "6:30 this morning on the left-hand side. Come over here to 6:40 this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here. 6:40 this morning. Then after that, all we had were tremors. Pioneer, Louisiana this afternoon. Look at this, guys. 12 noon on the top left-hand side is 12 noon. We'll come down here to 1:50. We'll come over here to 1:59 a.m. this morning, or this afternoon, 1:59 p.m. this afternoon. Look at this. This is Louisiana. Pioneer, Louisiana. On the southern end of the pneumatic fault. 3.03.1 earthquake here. 3.03.1 earthquake. And USGS did not show it on the earthquake map. They're not showing it on the earthquake map here at all. Look at that. Nothing. Not a thing. It's as if it didn't happen. It's as if it didn't happen here. It did happen. It did happen. But again, the agency doesn't want you to see it. I just showed it to you. I just showed it to you guys. I just showed it to you. This is continuing, guys. It's not going to stop. This is not going to stop. Okay? Not going to stop at all. We had a minor 2.3 or 2.4 earthquake over across the border from Louisiana in Mississippi as well. Mississippi as well. There is activity here up and down the entire fault from the Gulf of America to Illinois. From the Gulf of America to Illinois, guys. The entire fault line is moving. whether the United States Geological Survey is going to show it to us or not. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to show it to you well. Why are we showing you all this? Why are we showing you this activity? We want people to get prepared for what's going to happen. I think within the next 2 years, given all the activity we keep showing you every week, for the past 3 years, we've seen increasing activity here on the Pneumatic Fault. We may see at least a 5.0 to a 7.0 earthquake happen here on the Pneumatic Fault within the next 2 years. And guys, the Pneumatic Fault is capable of an 8.5 earthquake. The Pneumatic Fault is capable of a 2.5 or an 8.5 earthquake. 8.5 major earthquake here. It can happen and probably will. It can happen and it probably will, guys. Does anybody have any questions for me? I want you all to understand what's happening, guys. The lives of our families and ourselves depend on it. Those of you who live here on the Pneumatic Fault, you need to know it. You need to be preparing for what you're going to do. Prepare for what you're going to do, guys. Are you going to bug out and leave the area? Are you going to hunker down and shelter in place? Are you going to move north because the seismic energy is going north as well? Are you folks that are in Missouri and Arkansas and Louisiana? Are you going to go west? Are you folks that are in Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, going to move east? Guess what? The major part of the earthquake is going to hit the seismic zone. Going to hit the entire seismic zone. In order to miss the most of the activity, you're going to have to move way east, way frickin' east, across Eastern Continental Divide. Across Eastern Continental Divide, guys. But remember, the last time the Pneumatic Fault moved to such great extent, they first said it was a 7.1 earthquake, but that's when only maybe 1,000 people lived throughout the area. They maybe had 1,000 people living throughout the area, and guess what? Hundreds of people were killed. Hundreds of people were killed. They don't have an exact number because some of them were buried by the water. Some of them may be under the Reelfoot Lake. Some of them may have been swept away by the Mississippi River. They've happened. We don't know. We don't know. But today, millions of people, somewhere around 35 million people live up and down the entire fault line. 35 million people live up and down the entire fault line. 35 million people will be impacted directly by the Pneumatic Fault. But remember, again, when the Pneumatic Fault last went off, church bells rang in Boston. Church bells rang in Boston, Massachusetts. That means the energy from the Pneumatic Fault earthquake will be felt on the East Coast. It will also be felt on the western side of the Pneumatic Fault, possibly over into North and South Dakota, going over in Texas, even possibly New Mexico, and also Colorado. Yeah. That's how far this earthquake sequence is going to go. You're going to feel this earthquake for many, many states. Many, many states. It's going to happen, guys. I'm asking you again, are you prepared for what's going to happen? If not, why not? If not, why not? What are you doing, guys? What are we doing to prepare for this earthquake? Again, I want you to remember 3 things. Number 1, water. Number 2, writing an emergency preparedness plan. Writing an emergency preparedness plan and doing it now. Do it now while you're thinking about it. Do it now when we're talking about it. Doing it now when we're talking about it. Doing it now. In order to have life here during or after the new manifold goes, you need to prepare. You need to prepare now. Write a preparedness plan. Sock away food and water. Sock away food and water. Make sure you have a shelter, and make sure you have a plan. Write a plan. Have an emergency preparedness kit, food and water, and brief your family on what you're going to do. Brief every one of your family members on what you're going to do, what we are going to do to save ourselves. What we are going to do to save ourselves. This is mandatory, guys. This is absolutely mandatory. Okay? Do it now. Do it immediately. Linda Covington is saying that Richmond Zoo in Virginia announced the birth of baby girl giraffe. A contest for her name, mother's name is Chrissy. So let's think of a baby's name, send it over to the Richmond Zoo. Get involved in that contest, guys. That might be fun. In closing here, okay? I want to go over here into the book of Matthew in the New Testament, chapter 22, verse 21. First off, let me give you some background here. The scribes and the Pharisees are harassing Jesus Christ. They're trying to trick him. They're trying to trick him. They asked Jesus Christ, what is all this Caesar's money? What is Caesar's money? The scribes and Pharisees start off in verse 17. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye, ye hypocrite? Shew me the tribute money. They brought unto him a penny. He saith unto them, whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. I'm going to tell you the same thing. Don't tempt Jesus Christ. Give Jesus Christ your attention. Give Jesus Christ your tithes. Give Jesus Christ your tithes. Okay? Be prepared. Be prepared. These are the last days. We're seeing the last days right now. We are seeing the last days right now. May God bless us. May God bless us that we may be ready for what's happening. I keep showing you all this stuff, and yet I see everybody floundering around, not paying attention to what's going on. I understand everybody has their own lives. They do. But guys, take a few minutes. Prepare yourselves for what's going on. The Lord tells us to prepare for a reason. The Lord tells us to prepare for a reason. There's a reason to save our lives. Shelter in place. Shelter in place, and also if you're planning on bugging out, do so. If you're east of the new manifold, go to the east. If you're west of the new manifold, go to the west. Get away from the majority of the shaking. Get away from the majority of the shaking. Don't go north because the entire fault line is going to shake north and south. Don't go south either. Go east or west. Go east or west, and you need to do it pretty soon. Okay? As we showed you in a video last week, the roadways, once the earthquake hits, are going to be totally destroyed. There are going to be holes in the roadways. Fissures are going to open up in roadways. Bridges are going to go down. You're not going to be able to go through the bridges. Get out while the getting's good, or shelter in place. Shelter and prepare in place. Those are your options. Do what the Lord wants you to do. Pray about it. Pray about it. Do what the Lord wants you to do, guys. Guys, I've given you all this information. I ask you to do something with it. Don't just sit on it. Do something with it. Prepare and prepare what's happening. Prepare and prepare for what's happening right now. The sooner the better. Guys, I love you. I love you. I love you all. God loves each one of us. If anything else happens today or tomorrow or tonight, as soon as it happens, we'll come back on the air and tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Something major happens, we'll come on the air and tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, take care of each other. Love each other. Love each other. Pray. Pray for discernment. The Holy Ghost will bear the witness of the truth of it unto you. If you're in earnest prayer, having faith in Christ, He will give the information to you. If you pray earnestly for it. May God be with you. May God be with you this day and always. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, everybody. Much love. Take care. See you soon. May God bless. God be with you until we meet again. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. See you soon. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep you.
Thank you, guys.